Hyperion by Friedrich Hölderlin, page 116. Hyperion to Diotima. I am now deep in the Peloponnesus. In the same hut where I spent last night, I once spent the night. When, scarcely more than a boy, I traveled through these regions with Adamas. How happily I sat here then, on the bench in front of the house, listening to the bells of arriving caravans tinkling in the distance, and the plash of the nearby spring, which poured its silver waters into a basin under flowering acacias. Now I am less happy. I rove through this land as through Dodona's grove, where the oaks resounded with oracles prophesying fame. I see only deeds, past and to come, even though I wander from morning to night under the open sky. Believe me, he who travels through this land and still tolerates a yoke on his neck still becomes no Pelopidas. He is empty-hearted or without understanding. Can this sleep have lasted so long? So long has time, dark and dumb as the river of hell, glided on in drear sloth. And yet, all is ready. The mountain folk hereabout are full of vengeful energy. They lie like a silent storm cloud that waits only for the wind to drive it on, Diotima. Let me breathe the breath of God among them. Let me speak a word to them from my heart, Diotima. Fear not. They will not be so savage. I know untutored nature. It scorns reason, but it is close kin to enthusiasm. He who but works with his whole soul never goes wrong. He need not ponder, for no power is against him. Hyperion to Diotima. Tomorrow I shall be with Alabanda. It is delightful to me to ask the way to Coron, and I ask oftener than I need to. I would fain take the wings of the sun and be off to him. Yet I find myself inclined to hang back and ask, what will he be like? The kingly youth. Why was I born after him? Why did I not spring from one cradle with him? I cannot bear the difference between us. Oh, why did I live in Tina like an idle shepherd boy, and did not even dream of such a man as he, until he was already testing nature, by living work, already battling sea and air, and all the elements. Was not a longing for the glory of action astir in me then too? But I will catch up with him. I will be speedy. By heaven, I am overripe for work. My soul has only itself to be angry with if I do not soon free myself by some living action. Noble maiden, how could you not find me wanting? How could you possibly love a being so empty of deeds? Hyperion to Diotima. I have him, dear Diotima. My breast is light and swift my sinews. And the future tempts me as clear, deep water tempts us to leap into it and cool our exuberant blood in that freshening bath. But this is idle chatter. We are dearer to each other than ever, my Alabanda and I. We are freer together, and yet all the fullness and depth of life is there, as it used to be. Oh, how right the tyrants of old were to forbid such friendship as ours. Then a man is as strong as a demigod and tolerates no insolence within his sphere. It was evening when I entered his room. He had just laid aside his work and was sitting by the window in a moonlit corner, communing with his thoughts. I was standing in the dark. He did not recognize me. He looked toward me unconcernedly. Heaven knows who he took me to be. "Well, how goes it?" he cried. "Well enough," I said. But my dissembling availed nothing. My voice was filled with secret delight. "What is this?" He sprang up. "Is it you?" "Yes, you blind man," I cried, and flew into his arms. "Oh, now," Alabanda cried at last, "now everything will be different, Hyperion." "So I think too," said I, and happily shook his hand. "And do you still know me?" Alabanda continued after a time. "Have you still your old devout belief in Alabanda?" "Magnanimous Hyperion, things have not gone as well for me since." "As they did when I felt the light of your love on me." "What?" I cried. "Can Alabanda ask this?" There was no pride in those words, Alabanda, but it is a sign of this age that the old heroic nature goes begging for respect, and the living human heart pines for a drop of love, like an orphan. "Dear youth," he cried, "I have grown old, that is all, the slackness of life everywhere, and that matter of the old men to whom I wanted to put you to school in Smyrna." "Oh, it is bitter," I cried. "The deadly goddess, the nameless one whom men call fate, has not spared even this man." Lights were brought, and again we looked at each other. In cautiously loving scrutiny, my dear friend's figure had changed very much since those days of hope. His great, ever-animated eye shone upon me from his faded face, like the midday sun from a pallid heaven. "Dear youth," cried Alabanda, lovingly vexed to find me staring at him so. "Enough of these dolorous looks, dear youth. I know very well that I have sunk. Oh, my Hyperion, I long so much for something great and true, and with you I hope to find it. You have outgrown me. You are freer and stronger than in the past, and believe me, it rejoices my heart. I am the parched land, and you come like a fortunate storm. Oh, it is glorious that you are here." "Stop," I said. "You drive me out of my senses, and we should not talk of ourselves at all until we are in the midst of life, among deeds." "Yes, yes," Alabanda cried joyously. "Not until the hunting horn sounds do the hunters feel themselves." "Will it start soon then?" I said. "It will," cried Alabanda, "and I tell you, dear heart, it will be quite a fire. Ha! May it reach to the tower's top and melt its vein in rage and swirl about until it bursts and falls, and you must not take offense at our allies. I know that the good Russians would like to use us as they do firearms, but let that pass. When our strong Spartans have once learned in the field who they are and of what they are capable, when once we have conquered the Peloponnesus with them, then we will laugh in the North Pole's face and make a life of our own." "A life of our own," I cried. "A new, an honorable life. Were we born of the swamp like a will-o'-wisp, or are we descended from the victors at Salamis? How is this? How, O free nature of the Greeks, hast thou become a maidservant? How art thou so sunk in ancestral race, of which the divine images of Jupiter and Apollo were once only the copy? But hear me, sky of Ionia, hear me, my native soil, thou that half-naked clothest himself like a beggar woman in the rags of thine ancient glory. I will bear it no longer." "O sun, who fostered us," cried Alabanda, "thou shalt witness it when our courage grows under our toil. Then our resolution takes shape under the blows of fate, like iron under the hammer." Each of us fired the other. "And let no blot remain, none of the abject nonsense with which this century would bedaub us as the rabble do the walls." "Oh," cried Alabanda, "that is the reason war is so good." "Yes, yes, Alabanda," I cried, "even as we are all great undertakings in which men's strength and spirit, not crutches and wings of wax, are the means. There, we put off the slave's clothing, branded with the mark which fate would set upon us. There, all that is frivolous, all that is forced has no more currency. We go, stripped of ornaments as of chains, naked as the races at Nemea, straight to the goal. To the goal, I cried, where the young free state dawns, and the pantheon of all beauty arises from the soil of Greece. Alabanda was silent for a while. A new red rose into his face, and his stature waxed upward, like the plant refreshed. "Oh, youth, youth," he cried, "then will I drink from thy spring, then will I live and love. I am very joyful, sky of night." He went on, as if intoxicated, walking to the window. "Thy vault is over me like the foliage of a vine, and thy stars hang down like clusters of grapes." Hyperion to Diotima. It is my good fortune that my life is completely occupied with work. I should fall into one folly after another, so full is my soul. So am I intoxicated by the proud, the wonderful man who loves nothing but me and heaps all the humility that is in him upon me alone. Oh, Diotima, this Alabanda has wept before me, has begged me like a child to forgive him for what he did to me in Smyrna. Who am I, you loved ones, that I call you mine, that I dare to say they are my own, that like a conqueror I stand between you and hold you as my booty? Oh, Diotima, oh, Alabanda, noble, comely, great beings, how much there is for me to accomplish, if I am not to flee from my happiness from you. Just now, while I was writing, I received your letter, dear one. Grieve not, lovely being, grieve not. Preserve yourself, unwithered by sorrow, for the future festivals of our country. Diotima, preserve yourself for the shining celebration of nature, and for all the serene days set aside to honor the gods. Do you not see Greece already? Oh, do you not see how, rejoicing in their new neighbor, the eternal stars smile over the towns and groves, how the ancient ocean, when it sees our people wandering happily along the shore, remembers the beautiful Athenians and speeds good fortune to us again, as then it did to its favorites on rejoicing waves. Oh, soul, oh, maiden, you are so beautiful already. When the true clime nourishes you at last, in what enchanting glory will you not flower? Diotima to Hyperion. I had shut myself up indoors most of the time since you went away, dear Hyperion. Today I went out again. In the sweet February air I gathered life, and I bring you what I gathered. It did me good, even yet the fresh warming of the sky. Even yet I felt in sympathy with the new joy of the plant world, ever pure, ever the same, where all things grieve and rejoice again in their time. Hyperion, oh, my Hyperion. Then why do not we, too, walk the quiet paths of life? They are holy names, winter and spring and summer and autumn. Yet we know them not. Is it not a sin to grieve in spring? Why do we then? Forgive me, earth's children live through the sun alone. I live through you. I have no other joys, so is it any wonder if I have other griefs? And must I grieve? Must I? Brave one, loved one, shall I wither while you shine? Shall my heart grow weary when the joy of victory wakes in your every vein? Had I heard in times past that a Greek youth had risen to raise our good people out of their shame, to give them back the maternal beauty from which they are sprung, how I should have started from the dream of childhood and thirsted for the image of one so precious. And now that he is there, Now that he is mine, can I still weep? Oh, the silly girl! Is it not true? Is he not the glorious one? And is he not mine? O ye shadows of a blessed time, ye my beloved memories, yet it seems as if it was scarcely yesterday, that magical evening when the sacred stranger came to me for the first time, when, like a grieving genius, he shone into the shadows of the wood, where the carefree maiden sat, in the dream of youth. In the air of May he came, in the enchanting May air of Ionia, and it made him the more blooming. It waved his hair, opened his lips like flowers, dissolved sorrow in smiles. And O ye rays of heaven, how ye shone on me from those eyes, from those intoxicating springs, where in the shadow of screening brows eternal life shimmers and wells. Merciful gods! How beautiful he became with his gaze upon me! How the whole youth grown a span taller stood there, in easy strength, save that his dear modest arms dropped down, as if they were nothing. And how then he looked up in rapture, as if I had flown into the sky, and were no longer there. Ah, how aware of me again, his eyes shone bright as Phoebus. Through the darkening tears and smiling, he blushed with inborn grace to ask me, "Is it you? Is it you indeed?" And why did he come to me with thoughts so devout, so full of dear superstition? Why did he first stand with bowed head? Why was the divine youth so full of shyness and grief? His genius was too blessed to remain alone, and the world too poor to comprehend him. Oh, it was a dear image, woven of greatness and sorrow. But now it is otherwise. The sorrowing is over. He has found work to do. He is sick no longer. I was full of sighs when I began to write to you, my beloved. Now I am pure joy. To talk of you has been to grow happy. And mark, even so shall it remain. Farewell.